Fellow Patriots, Bravo Echo here from Hope for Survival, and I wanted to drop another video into the YouTube Hope for Survival file to share some thoughts with you. This one is going to be again centered around the summer and some thoughts on what I believe could be possibilities. As you know, I don't do predictions. I don't have a magic ball. Just based on some comments that's made, information flows and trends, some things that I think could be a possibility. Doesn't mean they're going to happen. Just thoughts of things that I'm personally keeping an eye out for. So I want to welcome you. Welcome to the new Hope for Survival members who have joined in the last 2 weeks. We've gained about 150 new folks from the month of May. So welcome and enjoy. So one of the things I wanted to share with you was I've recently been talking to some fellow podcasters who have preparedness and prepper sites. And interestingly, one of the things that I found was a lot of them, like we're doing here at Hope for Survival, one of the things that they're focusing on is community and trying to get folks within communities to work together to help train other individuals on preparedness, the basics of food, water, shelter, security, and so forth. And less focus on tactics, equipment in that area. Not that it's not important, it is. However, if you don't have food and you can't filter clean water, you're going to be in for some long days. So in the personal preparedness arena, 2 questions that I wanted to ask you is, what do you do daily making your preparedness plans better? I know a lot of folks spend time on social media and they spend a lot of time reading and tracking things that could affect them, which is very, very important. But what are you physically doing to work on your key components: food, water, shelter, security, medicinal, communications, and so forth? You should be spending time every day reviewing your plans, equipment that you have, making sure it works, knowing how to use it. If not, get it out of the box and start learning how to use it. The time to do that is not when the balloon goes up. The other question I want to ask you, I've been asking in website articles and also in our Thursday Zoom rallies. It's probably the biggest vulnerability I find in family preparedness packages. They have lots of resources, but they have no documentation of what their plans are. If they were to die today or tomorrow, which we hope is not the case, is there someone in their family who can step in and continue using all the preparations that have been made? So if you're short in that area, you might want to address it ASAP. So what do I think about what could potentially be coming this summer? So some things to think about that could be contributors going into the summer. As you're probably aware by now, Dr. Falkey's storyline is starting to unravel with some comments he's made recently under testimony, and also some uncovered emails that he received and sent. But his guidance and story is starting to unravel. And I believe as we go deeper into summer, I believe that the heat's going to turn up on him, and there's going to be a lot of angry people towards the government and Dr. Falkey, even if they fire him. from his position, which would be really hard to do because he is a government employee with tenure. Um, the American people and even globally, they're going to start to become very angry. Individuals that have lost their business, individuals that have lost jobs, individuals that have lost loved ones as well. The how much money has been spent on the whole COVID um, period by the federal government. That could grow uglier than it already is. We've just had the Colonial and the JBS hacking. Um, I believe there's going to be more hacking to come. It could be more severe. Um, I know a lot of folks are talking about who is believed to be the hackers. Honestly, I don't really find that of any importance because I can't change it. All I can do is look at the effect of who has been hacked and the impact it will have on me and my family and my 5 mile radius. But I do believe there will be more hack jobs to come. Um, in the last probably 3 months or so, I've heard and read several comments coming out of the federal government making the statement it's going to be a hot summer. If you remember back several months ago, we kept hearing it's going to be a dark winter. And it was relatively a dark winter through the election period and the aftermath and all the fallout. So what could it's going to be a hot summer? What could it mean? We could read into it, but that's basically the line that we have right now. Global tensions with Russia, China, and Iran continue to escalate with lots of tensions there. There is a Iranian military vessel that's being tracked down the west coast of Africa right now, and some speculation is it could be headed towards Venezuela. Venezuela, other than a collapsed country, the people there are fleeing by the thousands still, even a couple years after the collapse. But Venezuela is in a location that would be a key staging area for multiple type attacks on the United States. It could be an invasion type attack. It could be an EMP type attack, intercepted communications, and so forth. So that's something else to keep your eye on. Our debt as a nation continues to grow. Last I heard, it's at like 28, 29 trillion. And the new administration is proposing about a $6 trillion spending package. Again, they're using the line key infrastructure. Infrastructure in our nation does need attention immediately. The question is how much of the money would actually end up overseas and not in the United States. Prices are continuing to escalate, and the average American, the cost to live is growing at a fairly quick pace. The inflation rate in April went up 3%, and your salaries did not go up 3%. So you're filling it at the pump, you're filling it in the grocery stores. And folks who are already living payday to payday, it's going to become harder and harder going into the summer with the escalating prices, especially in the shortages of the aluminums and metals to make cans for goods, supply chain issues that are ongoing for quite a period now. So these are things to keep in mind as well. If you find good deals on things, buy them and stock up on them. Put them aside so you have them in your resources. So what do I think? there's been a lot of conversation and even documents released in the last 30 days or so out of some military channels in reference to an EMP attack. We've got to also watch for CMEs. Just last week alone, there was a single CME that came off the sun that NASA was tracking and talking about, and then it split into 12 separate CMEs, which downgraded the actual threat of the original CME. So there's more CMEs expected, coronal mass ejections from the sun. On the EMP side, Festus and I have had long conversations over a period of years on this topic, and I think we both agree that the question is, if an outside source such as Russia or China, if they were to put off an EMP, the question is why? The damage that it would create to critical infrastructure in America would be extraordinary. So, in reality, what would they have to gain from an EMP? However, what about a controlled EMP versus putting off a blast in the sky and frying all the infrastructure? Would it not be easier to hack into our grids and do a controlled takedown of our grid across America? This would not damage any of the critical infrastructure. However, the large majority of Americans would not know the difference. And they could put things in place to be able to control the American people better before they would bring the grid up, if they were to bring it up at all. But I don't believe they have anything to gain by frying our infrastructure. And that's just I've had that thought for a long time. It would be much easier to take it down and have the ability to bring it back up. China primarily needs land. They need our soil to grow more food. The biggest drawback to the American government and any foreign entity is the fact of the number of patriots, the millions of patriots, and the estimated 300 million firearms and ammunition that the patriots are sitting on to defend America if needed to do so or called upon. So that's kind of the fail-safe for the United States. If things start to unravel internally in the United States, with anger towards the government over the whole COVID issue over the last year and a half, and if civil strife continues to go from city to city, and there's debt and the inability to recharge EBT cards, and the people start taking to the streets, one of the quickest ways to refocus Americans' attention off of the government would be some form of an EMP, which I believe would be, of course, a false flag event. So my thoughts are that we all need to be alert to a potential false flag event during the summer months, to get the negative attention off of the federal government, and attention would be on whatever that false flag event would be. And I believe there is a likelihood that we could see some level of a EMP or shutdown of our grid system, creating what appears to be an EMP. So those are just things to think about. Like I said, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not predicting this. I'm just sharing my thoughts on what I believe could be a possibility. Um, there could be other significant um, factors that could drive this point or change this point that are unknown at this time. I'm sure as the weeks pass going into summer, more of the picture might become clear to us. And then again, it may not. We are basically holding a hand of cards that are blank. And we can try all day and all night to figure things out and put the pieces together. But the most important thing here is to not focus on the cause, but what effect would it have on you. That's why it's so important to spend time every day further preparing your resources, documenting your plans, working on your 5 mile radius, learning who your neighbors are, and building a cohesive team, training together, bonding, knowing who's around you, pro or con. It's important either way. If they live in your neighborhood, if an event happens, they're still going to be in your neighborhood. So it would be better to know them and know whether, excuse me, whether they're with you or against you. It's better to know now than after the fact. So those are just my thoughts, and I wanted to get them out to you. Thanks for the new members that have subscribed to the YouTube channel in the last 2 weeks. We appreciate it. Bring more. Hit the like button if you like the information. Subscribe so I know that there's more out there. It would be appreciated, and feel free to share the video with others so we can continue growing. It's not about the numbers. It just lets me know that the information we're putting out is getting out, and hopefully more people are coming to the preparedness mindset and preparedness table. The more folks that we can get trained and prepared, the better off all of us will be if and when something happens, whether it be natural, man-made, or a technological type disaster. So we got to help our brothers and sisters out. So until next time, everyone stay safe, stay healthy, keep preparing. If you haven't been to the website, you can visit us at Hope for Survival. It's at https://www.hopeforsurvival.com, or you can send me an email at preparedness101@protonmail.com. And I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, be blessed. Bravo Echo out.